do 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 mana mana do 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 mana mana do 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 mana mana do 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 mana mana do 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 mana mana. I hope we don't get sued, because you know you're pitch perfect. Oh my goodness. Happy Sunday. Pull up a chair, grab a cuppa. How are you this football Friday? I know my Patriots are hosting the Washington Commanders today, and hopefully we're giving the orders. Huzzah. That's right. Nothing more electric sometimes is the roar of the crowd of Gillette Stadium for the past 20 years. In for another Patriots. First down. The entire, and the muskets. Oh boy. Hi. Welcome to it. The Comics Coffee Table. How are you today? It's Sunday. It's new release review day here at the Comics Coffee Table. That's right. I'm reading your show notes. That's right. I am reading your show notes. You got to talk better into the microphone too. I mean, hey, we're listening, and the coffee table was always where my friends and I would assemble and hang out and shoot the breeze and break bread and have a cuppa with each other, catching up and turning each other on to entertaining things or talking about them, the way that we often do out here on the intrapoop. On my coffee tables have always been a stack of books. It's a stack of books. I got more. I got lots of books. I like books. It's always been a stack of movies. I got a 4-pack of Blumhouse movies. I didn't even watch this year. We can watch them next year. It's a stack of music. Usually like my last 2 ever compact discs, audio CDs. They don't play on the PS4. That's odd. They played on the PSs 1 and 2. Speaking of the history of the PlayStation, there was always a stack of video games on the coffee table. And there was always a stack of comic books. Trade paperbacks, graphic novels, floppies. And we have it today as well. What's in the bag? Well, this is what I got at my local comic book shop this past Wednesday. Couple of floppies, only 3, and you're going to be and there's a story behind it. But I also got 2 other things. So I bought some things mostly for the ladies of my life. I have ladies in my life. I do. I really do. I mean, geez, we all have. There are men and women, aunts, uncles, mothers, and nieces, and cousins, and you know what I mean. People in our lives, and coworkers, and friends, and neighbors, and even strangers on the bus. Indeed. Touchdown. Thank you very much. About this time in the show, I'm usually spouting out about my local comic book shop, my LCS, which is about a 25-minute walk or an 8-minute bus ride to the town square, minutes away. And I get my supplies there. Bags, acid-free boards, some Mylars, pretty pricey, but you should have a. Don't you have any comic books that are worth a Mylar? You should, shouldn't you? Treat yourself. Treat your funny books. And boxes. What we're doing usually on the show is we're rebagging, reboxing, and reboarding my entire collection, my most current collection for the past 20 years. So most of these long boxes are about 2 decades old. And so I'm replacing them with the short box. And I need supplies. So I'm buying all my supplies at my local comic book shop. It's important for me to get my ass out of my seat down to my town center, my village square. You know, it's actually, we call it, it is a square. It's Davis Square, Somerville. And it's on the Cambridge side of the Charles River, adjacent to Boston proper. You know, something like that, you know, right over the river. Yeah, and I go there. And also I have other comic book shops too, in Arlington Center and in Malden Center and in Quincy Center, you know, and in Harvard Square. Seriously, and in Union Square and in Kenmore Square. I'm blessed and grateful to have several, no lie, 8 different LCSs. 8. Ocho! I don't know if that's a gang sign or if I just, I don't, you know, that's, I was just counting to 8. El Ocho. That's it. No gang signs here, Pika. Please. But if it's Sunday, where we are we're not rebagging, reporting, reboxing. We are instead reviewing the week in comic books. Dun, dun, dun. This week in funny books. This week in funny books, brought to you by all of us here from our Boston studios, down the street from the corner. You're welcome here. Whomever you are there, tough guy, sizzle chest, chowder head, you know, turkey pockets, however you identify in the grand spectrum of humanity on this planet Earth and beyond, pull up a chair. How many Marvel magazines did we only bought 3, but I bought 2 of these. I bought because I read these pirated digital versions. I would have bought them. I never would have read them. But I bought them anyway. I bought because I liked them. And they were fun. And we'll get into that at the end of the show because we only have 3 physical floppies. But what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 Marvel magazines. Mighty Marvel Mags. What we got for DC? The distinguished competition. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I bought 1 Marvel and I bought 1 DC. And you might be surprised. Let's save let's every picture tells a story donut. And what's a story donut? And should I be eating donuts? And did you bring any donuts to the comics coffee table? Pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, take a break with us. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. We carve out just a little bit of time in our busy day to talk about comic books. And we care about comic books. We care about their stories. We care about their characters. And we care about our culture, too. We can't be overwhelmed with the forces of negativity and outrage. Sure, we can get our dander up. And sure, we can get protective and stand up for our stories. But let it not rule our days. Let we lend to the gentler ways. It's taken me a lifetime of anger to figure that out. And but letting go of that I got better posture because I'm not weighed down by all that. It's weirder. That's how it goes, though. Thank you so very much. So yeah, I don't have a review. I do not have a review of Wreck Planet. I barely just scratched the surface of this wonderfully illustrated, impeccably lettered, insanely colored superhero comic book. I think I got about 10 pages in. I brought it to the pub, but I was eating tacos. So but it was Dia de Muerte. So so what are you gonna do? You have to make choices in life. So while waiting for the tacos, the barbacoa tacos too, shredded beef, lime, cilantro, and then this one, they use a guacamole puree and some crumbled Gojita cheese. This is really good. Just good stuff. I love food. But I was reading Cyberfrog too, Wreck Planet, and I'll have a review next week. Give me, it came as a complete package. We can just once again, because these were part of the comic books we bought we got this week. These are the new comic books. Sure, just take a minute with you once again because it was much ballyhooed, much we waited for these. I mean, some people liked it, some people didn't, but overall, I'm liking it so far. There's also the companion, Salamandroid's Death Sting, which I think is just a normal 20-page funny book. And then there's Deleted Scenes, and there appears to be a card there, because sometimes I don't know what kind of card that is. Sometimes he throws in a trading card, like a baseball card, bubblegum card. And but yeah, I mean, just really, I like the foil, and hey, he signed it. That's a real signature. That's really cool. You just want to, you signed it. It's nice. Sometimes it's like a bonus. You can, like, on the Indiegogo or the thing, you can just click off just like would you like this signed, or would you like, right there would be the space where he would put a commission too. He would do like a head thing, yeah, check it out. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, so he's got his own built-in, platform for making a commission. It's got its own built-in blank cover. This is the Jay Lee cover, Jae Lee, Jay Lee. I got this in defiance of Tom King. The Jay Lee cover specifically was a beautiful, huge comic book, though, and I can't wait to get into it. And but yeah, so this is in your opinion of Ethan is your opinion of Ethan, and this is meant to look like the paper that an artist draws on, to submit to the publisher. And so this is a great space that right there he would put, that's where you draw your commission, and how much ever extra that costs, but it's yours, and this is your comic book, and it's been personalized by the creator of the comic book, which is pretty cool. I mean, but story wise and other things, we'll get to that next week, because it's I need to read the whole bloody thing. It is big. I didn't have time to, not with all the comic books that I read. You know what I mean? I mean, so we had about 11 Marvel and 5 DC. Plus one Image comic too that I didn't finish. I need to. We'll get to that because it's a physical copy. It's got a story donut, and I hope it's a Boston cream donut because I love donuts. I gotta stay away from donuts. Donuts are bad for you. Wow. Oh wow. Let's see what is going on in the world of funny books that deserve our precious attention. Let's talk about X-Men 28 by Jerry Duggan. Yeah, everyone's making fun of it. It's okay. It's kind of it's a tooth in the cog of the meshing wheels of X-Men and Invincible Iron Man and Uncanny Avengers at this point, and that's just Duggan's contribution to the big story. And so it's all moving parts. The parts must move. And Yeah, don't swallow the thumb drive. Yeah, I heard that somewhere else before. There was White Widow #1. That lost me like right at the beginning. I just scanned the pages. Um, let's see. It's about Yelena Belova, and she's the little sister to Natasha Romanoff, and she was Black Widow #2 for a while too. So this is like post movie stuff. Black Widow's movie, Florence Pugh, the amazing Florence Pugh, by the way. I haven't seen the Black Widow movie. I would now because now it's like, well, you get Scarlett Johansson, Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, and Florence Pugh. Those are 4 really decent actors. And they could be like reciting mayonnaise ingredients for all I care. I hear it's pretty darn stupid. But I've been completely spoiled on it too. Bad guy pheromones. I get it, but it's 32 pages, $4.99. And it starts off with a bang, and it's I think it's for girls by girls, and it's fine. It's not made for me. I hope whoever is reading this likes it, man. Just like I just is this for like angsty teenage girls? Maybe. Cool. I mean, sure. I'm not one. I don't have one. I know a few. You know what I mean? The friends' kids, but that's just natural. They're teenagers. There's speaking of Black Widow, and this is what is Natasha doing? Well, she's hanging out over on Venom, written by Torrin Grönbeck. Like I think she's writing 2 titles, maybe 3. Torrin Grönbeck, she's part of the bullpen. She's one of the writers. Yeah, up to Jed McKay, Benjamin Percy, Jerry Duggan, Dan Slott, Zeb Wells. Cy Spurrier is still part of that. Or did he move over to DC completely? But it's a team up between Venom and Widow, and Widow is Black Widow's symbiote. And so it's a symbiote charged up Black Widow, and there's a lot of grotesque to it. There's a lot of symbiote body horror and morphing, and this and that and the other thing. And I just don't know what's going on, and I don't know who to root for. And in purple, it's everywhere. Purple is a fruit. I think the purple one. I was like, purple is a fruit. That's another donut reference in Homer. Homer's brought Lisa to the power plant for the day. Bring your kid to work day, and she's like, I haven't had breakfast. Well, have a donut. This one's purple. Purple is a fruit. I think I butchered that line, but then there's Ultimate Universe #1 by Jonathan Hickman. It's 41 pages for $6.99. So you're getting some bang for your buck here. And so for every what you think was a flubbed story beat in the 4-part ballyhooed, overpriced Jonathan Hickman, Brian Hitch, Ultimate Invasion. Well, this is Ultimate Universe, a one-shot. And it sets up for what comes next. And it makes everything that happens in that 4 issues make sense from this one. This should have been just like issue 5 of that. Maybe they can put this in at the end of that of that collection when it's collected into a trade paperback. Hopefully this is part of that, because this makes everything else make sense. And it's about, the new Ultimate Universe. The maker has remade it. It's not the same Ultimate Universe because the maker basically stole. What did Dr. Manhattan do in Doomsday Clock? He took Alan Scott out of the timeline right before he got the Green Lantern, therefore affecting history. And so in this history, the maker prevented the superheroes from becoming superheroes. Like we saw, back, he prevents Peter Parker from getting bitten by that spider that fateful day. So coming full circle to like our now, and also what we know as like solicits, we know that there's an Ultimate Spider-Man #1 coming out, an Ultimate Black Panther coming out, and Ultimate X-Men coming out. And I'm in for that one. It's Peach Momoko. And I know like some people I know that like don't like the art and stuff. I love her art, and she's most definitely, this is about armor, and she's one of the X-Men, and she's one of Warren Ellis's X-Men. She's a Japanese girl who can create an impenetrable field around her, and she can. It looks like, depending on the imagination of the artist, like she can. But it usually looks like some Big Hero 6 kind of like big guy. I don't know any of those characters. I should go back and watch that. Maybe I've heard decent things about that. But this makes a lot more sense to me, and because it's it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars #40 by Charles Soule. It's issue 40. It's the Dark Droids thing, so it's 23 pages for $4.99. $4.99. Dun 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 dun. Way too expensive for a shit. I don't want to say shitty story because that would be dissing Mr. Soule and company, and whatever I did as a younger man is just, that's in the past, and all I can do is put one foot forward in front of the other and just keep on keeping on. Just a man getting through the galaxy here. Just a man making his way through the galaxy. Ever get to the Coruscant? But yeah, this is just, it's set in a certain time, and it's basically, okay, there's, you have to realize, what is Dark Droids? Dark Droids is a Star Wars wide mini event, tying together different Star Wars titles of one concurrent era. Then there are High Republic, issues. There's not much going on when it comes to. There are no Poe stories anymore. I was buying Star Wars Poe Dameron back in 2015, 2017. I mean, that had art by Phil Noto, and for at least the first 6 issues, but they've really cooled down. They don't tell stories set in the First Order era. Would it be the Age of the Resistance? Do they tell many? I don't see any I don't recall seeing any comic books set in that era. But Star Wars, Darth Vader itself, Dr. Aphra, Bounty Hunters, those 4 seem to all be going on between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, or so, I think. Set me straight if you know the answer to this question. But August, September, October, and it goes November and December. And it has, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 24. It's got 29 individual issues over 5 months. And at $4.99, at least at $4. I wonder if any of these are $3.99. I don't think so. And but that's it. Yeah, that's Star Wars. They're like bunkered in for that. There is Spider-Boy issue #0 from Q Dan Slott and company. I like the Humberto Ramos designed suit. I love it. This is a $5.99 comic book for 34 pages for 2 Spider-Boy stories. And it's not that good. I mean, there's a lot to set up with Spider-Boy, a lot of his mystery, and about what actually motivates him. It's like, I think there's going to be a heel turn, and because he's a little redhead kid, and yeah, I smell a heel turn coming. And it's cute. I like the banter between Spider Boy and Spider Man. That's pretty fun. Scarlet Witch number 10. Is this the last issue? I hope so. 24 pages for $3.99, and I know this is wrapping up. Yes, this is the last issue. And the letters column. Next, Wanda returns next year, and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver number 1. It's really purple. It's really, I think girls need comic books too, or just like, I don't know. Feminine energy needs their comic books too. I mean, I'm not going to diss it. It wasn't made for me. Magneto number 4 was totally made for me. I passed on it. It's $3.99, 23 pages, written by J.M. DeMatteis, drawn by Todd Knock. And I like that in the beginning of it, it literally says, editor's note, this story takes place circa New Mutants, Volume 1, number 38. We're going to a wiki. Come with me in wiki. Oh my goodness. Really now? Really? Oh boy. Release date was September 24th, 1985. I had just turned 13 years old the month before. It's cover dated for April of 1986. Its writer was Christopher Claremont. Rick Leonardi did the penciling, inked by Bill Sienkiewicz, edited by Ann Nesenti in her days. Wow, I forgot about that cover. It's 75-cent comic book. The previous issue was set in Secret Wars 2 and New Mutants 37. When does Doug die? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Everyone dies, actually, in this issue. But when does Doug die first? I don't remember seeing Doug Ramsey, aka Cypher, one of my favorite New Mutants. Why? Because he has kind of a pacifist power. He doesn't have an aggressive power. He's got a very passive, non-fighting power. And let's see, his first appearance was New Mutants 13, November 1983, that he can speak any language and understand any language spoken to, meaning computer language or alien language. That's his mutant gift, and that he was the only one that could communicate with Warlock. And that's why they became like best friends, and let's see, when did he die the first time? Death. New Mutant 64. All right. So that's the Resurrection. New Mutant 63. Sorry, this is what happens when we fall down the rabbit holes. And yeah, so yeah, Doug doesn't die until the late 80s. Yeah, so Doug's still alive, and where is he? In Magneto. I don't know, but it's pretty decent art. It's just it's what I wanted. It's Danger Room level stuff. There's it opens up in a fight scene, and the illusion is behind them and beyond them, and now they realize we're in the Danger Room. Let's use this to our advantage, X-Men. And I love that era's X-Men uniforms, the New Mutants uniforms, you know what I mean, with the red belt. And then later in the late 80s, Jim Lee would adopt that uniform for the grown-up team, you know what I mean. I love the uniforms, you know what I mean. And it's just Magneto is confronted with the many kind of versions of himself. You know what I mean? And just, isn't this supposed to be Is this supposed to be Joseph, though? Or Michael Xavier? Joseph Xavier? I'm not sure. I mean, is this like... Is he the father of Wanda? And Pietro? I mean, it didn't do anything to simplify his story to me. I'm just as confused as day one. When they started tinkering with Magneto's story overall. I like what Grant Morrison says about Magneto. He's a terrorist asshole. There's Doctor Strange, number 9, art by Pascal Ferry, written by Jed McKay. Bullpen. You know what I mean? 23 pages, $3.99. Let's see if that goes up to $4.99 any day now. Let's just put a pin in that and let's see if that happens. You know, are the $3.99ers, are they going up in price? I say yes. Wonderful comic book art by Pascal Ferry. Lovely, cosmic. It's like stained glass. It's this fight scene between the future never will be General Stephen Strange and his powered up Doctor Strange self in this continuity. He's got to fight some kind of alternate version of himself. We also have Avengers 27, also written by Jed McKay. It's a big dream sequency. So, and there's a lot of purple in it, but we got to see Carol Danvers in her Warbird costume, which I love. And I kind of like the design of Thor and Tony. They're like, because they're dream sequency. And then they wake up, and then they're in their comic book accurate costumes. But we got Vision and Wanda hugging. I like that. Are they together? Are they still in love? Do they still love each other? There's one more Marvel comic book that came out this week. We'll talk about that at the end of the show when we look at some paper funny books that I bought at the local comic book shop. All right, let's look at some DC comic books that I read this week. One that I did not read is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom special. I'll just blow through that real quick. 60 pages. Mingia. I wonder where I hope they sell this at it's got some beautiful Ivan Rice cover, and it's the Jason Momoa Aquaman. So this is a movie tie-in. This is movie stuff, and because the movie should be coming out any day now, and but it opens up with the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman and the Jason Momoa Aquaman, and the art's pretty good. The art's really nice in this. But it mixes up a lot. They've got a lot of creators in this. Yeah, that's a we got some photorealisms going on here. Like, is that supposed to be Nicole Kidman? Is Nicole Kidman Aquaman's baby mama? No. Mara is the baby mama. Yeah, and they got Are they gonna kill Arthur Jr. in this? I heard. They got a really cheeky looking Mara. Well drawn Mara. This is great stuff. They've drawn some beautiful people, men and women, and there's some real onomatopoeia here. Uh-oh. Hold on one second. Okay, I fixed that. So I blew through the issue 1 of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom special. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, it was a pretty decent Aquaman funny book. Yeah, I mean, I didn't buy it. I'm not gonna. I wonder how much it costs. Let's see. I hope that you're doing awesome. Hope you're having a great day. You're smashing your challenges and not having your challenges smash you. That is right. Don't let your challenges smash you. Smash them up instead. Here we go. This is a $6.99 comic book. It says 64 pages here, and it says 60 pages in the file, and with 3 different stories. One about Ocean Master. He's got 2 backups. One about Ocean Master and one about Black Manta. And the primary one's about Aquaman. Yeah, and Mera, and and it says to be continued, and the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I didn't see the first Aquaman movie. I didn't do it. I enjoy Jason Momoa though, and the Snyderverse stuff. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of that Snyderverse stuff, but some of it's pretty good. I liked his Justice League. It was superior to Whedon's. Whedon. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. But I like the Momoa Aquaman, the kind of surfer dude thing. It kind of works. It lightens it up a bit, Exactly. What else do we have this week? Spirit World number 6. I've read a few pages of this. I think this wraps up the whole thing. It's from Alyssa Wong, and no thanks. It's not made for me. Yeah, this is 6 of 6. So this is the end. I like it that John Constantine's in it, and he looks typical, usual. He looks normal. And he's got a cigarette, but I guess it's a magic cigarette or something. And but still, it keeps with an iconic value. I mean, they took away Wolverine's cigar because the editor, had a personal story, involved with that. But Wolverine has a healing factor, so shouldn't you think Wolverine should still be chewing cigars and swilling beer? I say yes. There's one here. We're gonna save that for the stack because we actually got that one. Indeed. And 43 pages that one is. Okay. Hello, where did you go? And well, 2 of them are Batman. Okay, it's start with the bad or the obvious. It's Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War, Scorched Earth, and this wraps up the Gotham War with a bow, a bat bow. I mean, and so ends the Gotham War, and our new status quo with all of our with whomever survived. Sometimes people die in wars, and but the real Batman issue is the extra thick Batman 1076. It's got 3 backups, and one of the backups is only 2 pages, but it's written and drawn by Ram the 5th. And but Ram V is writing Detective Comics. It's his Gotham Nocturne. I think that's his ongoing thing. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the story, but it was easy to read because it's a Batman story. It was a great Catwoman, a great drawn Catwoman. I mean, and the real Batman stories were, and there was the Azrael backup that was really great, and that was drawn by Liam Sharp and colored by Liam Sharp as well. I mean, it's cartoony at the same time, very superhero-y. I'm impressed. And the Montoya backup feature, Renee Montoya is the current commissioner of the Gotham City Police Department. but she's moonlighting as the Question. How, commissioner by day, costume crime fighter by night, contemporary of Batman. Gee, how does that work? How is that work-life balance? But she's also a recovering alcoholic, or like just she it poses a great kind of dilemma. She's looking. It's either the mask or the bottle tonight. What's going to fill my ennui? I get it. I like that. That was so Tech 1076 got the goods. It got the sauce. It's a good Batman story. Yeah. I mean, the previous issue was the setup for this in 1075. I feel like that came out like last week, but that had art by Francisco Francavilla. It's just amazing, and who also does his own coloring as well. I mean, if you're spending money on physical copies, hopefully you're buying it. It seems that Detective Comics got the goods. It really does. So, what else were there? Okay, well, let's get to what's in the bag. Let's play. What's in the bag? That's right. It's what did I buy this week at my local comic book shop? Oh, that's the receipt for my Ritz crackers. Before I share these comic books, I bought these. Two of these I bought for a reason, and it's a good reason, because I like to support comic books that I enjoy, and that the fact that I read both of these comic books, in a pirated digital source first. I mean, I will go back and buy a good comic book, and or even one that I judge fun, even cute, and then, well, comes this too, Sacrificers number 4 by Image, and I gotta tell you, I brought it to the. I have to finish reading this, but I was literally here. I was at my pub, reading these pages, and it became very difficult for me to read the pages. I mean, the dimmer light inside the pub, yet it was just like, I need reading glasses, apparently. I mean, it doesn't look right here. I mean, but it's it's the black thought speech bubble with the lettering, beautiful lettering in this, but I mean, it's just it was like, it's challenging for me to read. I think I'm going to have to invest in some decent prescribed reading glasses. I can't. None of these. This came in a 4-pack of, something from Amazon. I just thought that oh, this is the same ones you'd buy at your CVS pharmacy, but don't use glasses that are bad for you. You'll mess up your eyesight that way. You'll shoot your eye out. That's next month. Got priorities here. Happy Sunday. I hope everything's going your way. For everyone out there, except for the Washington Commanders fans, I hope your team wins. And happy footballing. All right. Let me just tell you that I like good comic books. I like bad comic books. I like fun stuff as well. And I've read both of these in their digital form, and I like them so much I spent some money on them. There were new releases this week, and but my intent was that I'm going to give them to my best friend's teenage daughter, of whom I've watched grow up, that I have, I'm like the geeky uncle. I'm an only child. I don't have any nephews or nieces. So these kids are pretty much, my friend's kids are pretty much the closest things I'll have to being an uncle. And so I've been giving this kid comic books all of her life. And so she's got a good geek node, and she just turned 14, and I read this story, and I thought that I want to give this to my 14-year-old niece. I'm not a wine aunt. I'm a beer uncle. Your beer uncle, you know what I mean? Your beer uncle bought you some funny books, kid. And yeah, I remember, like, just I like giving her comic books. She likes comics, and I'll enable that, and hopefully she still does. So when I see her dad, and when we hang out, her dad's one of my best friends for 30 years, the same guy who gave me that book over 2 decades ago, the one that's been served at my coffee table. You know what I mean? Ever since that best friend. So when I see him, like, occasionally, we meet up, and have a rare beer and a sandwich. I'm like, here, this is for the kid. You know what I mean? So just, yeah. And it's funny what you hear back from what are hit and miss. Like, I had all 6 of the Scott Pilgrim talkathons by Brian Lee O'Malley all set up. I kicked over volume 1, and it was a miss. And I'm like, oh, okay. But other stuff, you know what I mean? Just it's oh, you'll like that one, like Starlight Cats by Shane Davis and Yanzi Lin. I mean, I got that, if I got that specifically for the girl with 3 cats, my niece, So, which was ended up being a fun story too. But that was like, okay, here you go. Here's some funny books, kid. And I got the Supergirl special by Mariko Tamaki. It cost $5.99. And I will tell you this much too. I liked the story a lot. I don't think I've ever consciously read a Mariko Tamaki book. So, as first impressions goes, this is okay. Yeah, it's written by a woman. You can tell there's a lot of, like, emotional lingers with the camera, food stuff. I mean, I like the thing with the cupcake, because I love Supergirl. I love that she could have a future in the 31st century with Brainiac 5. You know what I mean? Just like he's a really smart, good guy, and they're really, traditionally they've been a good couple, unless you want to, mess things up for modernity and stuff. But or you could give Brainy, no, you couldn't give Brainy. Brainiac's not that kind of Brainiac. He's a person from Kolu. He's not, this, a cyborg that you can, blah, blah, blah. But I got this. And because a lot of it has to do with her unconscious rivalry with herself, in a way. Power Girl, her multiverse alternate. And that person's not a twin. That's not your twin sister. This person is another you from another time and space. And it's interesting because I'm a huge Power Girl fan, and I care about her story, and I like her story. I was 7 years old in 1980. It was at a summer barbecue at my uncle's place in East Boston, Massachusetts. I remember I cut my leg on one of those folding lawn chairs that go and locks into place, and had these, like, cogs, these teeth for cogs where it would lock into place. I still have a scar on my thigh from that day. And after the bleeding and the crying stopped, my grandpa slipped $1, like, must have been $2 or more in my pocket. And he said, go down the street, get yourself an ice cream or something. So I must have had more than $2 because I came back. I went down I'm 7 years old, go down the street to the corner store. What's at the corner store? It's 1980, and there's a spinner rack. And on the spinner rack is DC's Blue Ribbon Digest number 3 for a $2 comic book in the 50-cent days. It was extra thick. It had a spine, not a stapled binding. You know what I mean? So you could read the back. It must have been like 96 pages or something. But it reprinted an All-Star Squadron from 1976 that had the first appearance of Power Girl, and it also had the first appearance of adult Star Spangled Kid and Sylvester Pemberton, and it had the first appearance of Robin's new outfit. Before that, in the Silver Age, he had a Batman inspired. This is Earth 2. These are the the original pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths, Earth 2, formerly the Golden Age of comic books. So that Batman on Earth 2 is dead. He married Selena Kyle. They had Helena. They lived happily ever after until one fateful day he was forced to put on the costume one last time, and where he sacrificed his life for his family. And that's how Earth 2 lost their Batman, their first Batman. Robin grew up and never stopped being Robin, but he had this Batman-inspired suit, but with I think with the yellow cape and his domino mask, and you saw his hair. That's Robin. But the rest of it was a Batman suit, but with a Robin R in the middle of the Bat logo. Now, then he gets a redesign in 1976 in the Bronze Age, and he has that classic-looking adult Robin suit. All the classic colors, everything's in its right place. Yellow cape, red top, green pants, green boots, domino mask. I love that Earth 2 Robin is so chic. It's so sleek. I loved it. So I know I had two simultaneously cool Robins going on at the same time, because over on it was Wolfman Perez's New Teen Titans, we also had Robin at his peak, you know what I mean, as well as the Teen Wonder. And then his last couple of years in the short pants and pixie boots, but I'm a big Supergirl fan. I'm an even bigger Power Girl fan. And this was actually fun. And it tells a tale of Kara Zor-El, trying and losing. And you know what I mean? She was like one of the best runners in high school. And then she loses the race because of her overconfidence. And it gives her something that she overthinks things. And then she slips up. And I think this is a good story for maybe a teenage girl, really. And but this is why I bought it too. This panel right here of that's Jor-El's brother, and so Kara Zor-El is his name Zor-El? And Kara Zor-El is Jor-El's niece. But this moment here just reminds me of my best friend and his daughter, and I wanted to share that with them. And I wanted to, what I mean? I liked this. I didn't have a problem with this book. It was fine. You know what I mean? And I spent some money on it because I believed in this book, and I wanted to give it to a friend. Someone I think it was made for. Same goes for this Marvel title this week, and I read it, and I told the person that sent me the I'm gonna like this, and we laughed because he's like, that's the first thing I thought. It's Jeff, the Jeff verse by Kelly Thompson. Again, I mean, I hope that my quote unquote niece doesn't think it's too childish or too cutesy. What I like about this is that it's all show don't tell. It is cute. It's fun. It's easy to read, and kind of the big clumsy panels remind me of Sunday comic books. And hey, how's that for an advertisement? Ramen the X-Men, reprinting all those X-Men stories. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's just they're just it's an anthology. They just reprints the you know it's Jeff. I mean, this is like, yeah, I'm going to be made fun of by my friends for buying this, but I really enjoyed it. The only dialogue you ever get in this is like when with one of the humans say, Jeff. You know what I mean? This is just Jeff's life, and he hangs out with, Kate Bishop or Ghost Spider. Or no, it looks like Gwenpool, and it's just stupid and it's fun and it's cute. You can see it's just making me happy. Let comics make you happy. Give yourself some space. Give yourself permission to like, you know, something silly. Comics are supposed to be fun. Look, hey, look, it's Pizza Dog, it's Flurkin, it's Moon, isn't that that's Devil Dinosaur. We've got Lockheed, we got Alligator Loki, and we got one of the squirrels, I think. I don't know that one's name, but have I completely just identified all those familiars? I mean, I'm a Marvel fan. That should be like in my wheelhouse. I should know that. But look how adorable Squirrel Girl is. She's not an ugly Squirrel Girl. She's not this misdrawn, frumpy, dumpy looking thing. This is the Squirrel Girl I like. You know what I mean? Oh, that's cool. Can you find all four? Lucky the Pizza Dog. Yeah. But I enjoy the hell out of this. Yeah. And it was fun and it made me smile. And again, I'm going to put these two into we got our supplies right here. We got our bag and board. Yeah. I bought comic books for a kid. Gosh, she's too old to be a kid. Oh gosh, that means I'm getting so old. They grow up so quickly. They really do. They really do. This will actually do wonders, and this will do better in a Silver Age. But thank you so very much for tuning in. And oh yeah, we got one. What's in the bag? We got one more thing in the bag. So like I said, I bought some comics for the ladies in my life. All right. My mom just retired from where she works at her office. She was working there for decades. And I remember a few years before she retired, she's disappointedly said to me about like the office girls who are just like not too young, but closer to my age or a little younger than me. And she was like, I don't get it. These kids don't know who Daisy May is. I'm like, Ma, I barely know who Daisy May is. Do you know who Daisy May is? Do you know who I'm talking about? It's a fabulous story. So I went to my local comic book shop on New Comic Book Day. And I only got, I was only getting 3 things anyway, that didn't matter because I saw these on the way in on the sidewalk sale part. They were used. They were in the used book section. I was legitimately looking for books like these in the past couple of years. And it's funny when you stop looking how it'll just come into your frame of reference and you'll see it and give you the opportunity. So these were $5 each, and they had a couple of. This is just volumes 1 and 2, and they had 3, 5, 6. There was no 4, but this is from a 1934 newspaper strip called Little Abner, which was one of the most famous. This is Platinum Age comics, all right? Before the Golden Age, which begins in 1938, with Action Comics #1, July 1940, the first appearance of Superman. Before that, from 1883 to 1938, was known as the Platinum Age. I know this because it's in the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide's glossary. I'll accept that as an industry standard. So I grew up, there was a TV show or old movies. It was huge. It was Little Abner. You probably have heard of Little Abner. I know of Al Cap, because Al Cap was the guy who wrote it, and I always got them confused with Andy Cap, which was a different funny strip anyway. And so but I don't remember this because it stopped. It had a strip that ran from 43 years, from 1934 through 1977. I'd be a little bit too young. I'd be 4 going on 5. Yeah, I'd be reading newspapers, but I don't remember ever seeing Little Abner in the funny pages. But my mom did. My mom grew up with Little Abner, and she loved that story. And it's about Little Abner Yoakum, and I'm reading this from the wiki. He's portrayed as a simple-minded, gullible, and sweet-natured country bumpkin. He is 6 feet 3 inches tall and perpetually 19 years old. He lives in a ramshackle log cabin with his parents, and he's always evading the marital designs of Daisy May Scragg, the virtuous, voluptuous, barefoot scion of the Yoakum's blood-feud enemies, the bloodthirsty Scraggs. And Cap, 18 years into making this in 1952, finally allowed Little Abner to marry Daisy May. And so here we go. That's arc, and that's continuity, and it's huge cast of characters in an innocent day of it's in the fictional mountain village of Dogpatch, USA, and I got these 2 books for my mom because my mom's retired. She loves books. She loves to read, and I was kind of looking for something like these, and I think she's gonna like these, and I think 2 is enough. But look how nice, I want to say how nice and big the panels are and how readable, she has reading glasses, but this is I have really approve of how big the pages are. And these are just reprinted daily newspaper strips. This was originally, these were done in 1988. I looked in the indicia, And this has a wonderful introduction, too. Volume 1 is just full. It has a first chapter that has a great introduction about the author and about, the culture at the time. And it begins with the first strip of Al Cap's Little Abner. And this strip here started everything. August 13th, 1934. And that was a property that ran a very long time. Yeah. August 13th, 1934 to November 13th, 1977. And it was humor, it was satire, and it was politics. It got a little satirical, and I don't know much about its politics, but I'm gonna read a little bit of this before I kick it over to her. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so using my local comic book shop for its intended purpose, I picked up gifts for the ladies in my life. The stories, funnies for me. You know what I mean? You know me. I'm me. I'm like, I love comic books, but I get to share that love, you know what, with the ladies that I love and the ladies who love me. And I feel blessed and grateful. And that's this week in new comic books. Thank you so very much for tuning in this Sunday. That's right. I hope happy footballing. Is that a gerund? It is now. Ha ha ha. Thank you. Woo! Fresh cup of coffee, huh? Cuts right through it. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe. Turn on those notifications. It takes one extra step, but you click on the button that says notifications for all, and then it turns the bell a different color, and it's like, oh wow, now I'm subscribed. Cool, I'll never miss. And it helps the algorithm suggest me and us and our comics coffee table to the rest of the world. Well, thank you so very much. It's been New Release Sunday reviews, our Sunday magazine, our Sunday funny pages, our Sunday newspaper here at our channel. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Like and subscribe, and God bless, namaste, good luck, and we will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao, bye-bye.